Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's Latest, and today we're going to talk about the latest addition of Sung Chae Cheng to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as 9 of the 10 arbitration eligible players settled deals with the Tampa Bay Rays, minus Edwin Ucita, who will be going to a hearing in February. As well as, I know I mentioned a couple days ago about the TV deal that was Main Street Group has been defaulting on all these payments that they're supposed to be making. Every MLB team that has contracts with FanDuel Sports and Main Street Groups have terminated all of their contracts. So they will be able to possibly re-sign if they would like to later down the road, or kind of see. I feel like the main three options that Tampa has is to let Major League Baseball source their games, or kind of go like the local route with kind of what you see the Lightning doing and kind of see how it goes from there. And I think truly that you can't lose that local TV market. And I think that going the MLB route, it would get a little interesting, kind of how market share and things of that nature kind of ramp up. So we'll kind of see where that kind of goes from here. But I would assume expect something to happen relatively soon because the season starts in three and a half months. So it's gonna be kind of not necessarily super rapid fire. We need to get something done, but something has to be done pretty soon. And then Sung Chae Cheng from Taiwan, he's 24, was claimed off waivers from the Pirates by the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday. He spent most of 2025 in AAA. He only hit 209 with an OPS of a 578. He played three games in April in the big leagues. Plays short, second, third. That's one of those signings it's interesting to me because I don't see what it does. I really don't see what that does for us rather than just give us more options at second base that can't hit, which is what I feel like we just keep doing. And it's it's intriguing to kind of see where Neander is going with the whole second base thing. And it looks like it's going just straight down the road of platoon second base, or he's just getting as many people as he can to send out for other players. I think it's one or the other, and I think we're kind of leaning more towards the platoon as of right now. It obviously he could go out and he could get more players, because with the arbitration being settled recently or yesterday, he's got about 16 to 17 million dollars to work with here to spend. And I think that the main, like I talked about yesterday, the main addresses we need is second base and catcher, or a corner outfielder, power hitting right-handed corner outfielder, and or back in rotation help. So the 17 million will definitely help be able to get somebody or get multiple people that we need. But I just don't see that this signing is kind of something that's jumping off the paper at me where I'm just like, oh, this is great. I kind of look at it of why, what does this do for us? So I'm kind of it's interesting to see kind of what that's going to transpire from, but we'll see where he goes and if he plays at all this season. But the main thing I kind of want to talk about is the arbitration eligible players. We had 10 of them. 9 of them ended up settling in in arbitration yesterday with the Rays. Garrett Clevenger being one, settled at 2.4 million. Griffin Jacks 3.565 million. Nick Fortes 2.53 million. Steven Wilson 1.52 million. Palacios 945,000. Pepio 3.02 million, Josh Lowe 2.6 million, Kevin Kelly 925,000, and Brian Baker 1.27 million. And so Uceta is the only one that did not sign, and he filed at 1.52 million. The Rays filed at 1.2 million. So he's going to be going to court with the Rays in February to kind of settle this dispute of 325K that he thinks he deserves more, and the Rays think he deserves $325,000 less than what he thinks. So that's where arbitration court gets real weird. And side note, Tarek Skubal is still in arbitration because he's so young. He filed at like 32 million. The Tigers filed at 19 million, which that 13 million is the largest ever difference in Major League Baseball history. So that's one of those things where come February and in his hearing, things are going to get real interesting, and I don't know what that kind of entails for kind of how the MLB Players Association is going to handle things from here on out, because the arbitration stuff it's the only sport that does things like this, and it's interesting because we get so many discrepancies with what players think they're owed and what teams think the players are worth, and it just gets to, I mean, 19 million for Scooble, that is a ridiculous low ball. It's not even funny. And I get it. He's still in arbitration. He's under club control, and it's up to them, and of course they're going to want to save money. But you should know that he's not worth $19 million, and they're just lowballing players at this point. And it's going to get interesting when I know that a lot of these things talking about lockout and players association, it's going to get real dicey come February and March. And I mean, I don't want to see a lockout come, but I would not be surprised at all if the players are like, every time the players association contracts up, it just gets real dicey. The players think they want all this. The clubs don't want to give them anything. And it really every time kind of comes down to the players benefit. I mean, the last time it was about the minor league stuff where players were literally getting paid like $500 a month in AAA, and it's like I can't live my life off of $500 a month. And then they finally agreed minor league players get paid year round now, minus I think it's December in kind of that no contact period. I'm pretty sure it's December where players either don't get paid or they get paid like half of it's interesting. I can't remember exactly what time frame that is, but there is a time frame. And so it's going to get real interesting when it comes down to that. But I'll get into that at a later date. But for the arbitration eligible players, I do think that this frees up about $17 million in available cap space towards the end of the end of the off season, kind of into January, early February. So the 17 million is definitely going to help us. Rather that's Real Muto at catcher, if that's going out and getting Marte to be able to pay his contract, Brendan Donovan, Willie Castro, Rengifo. There's so many options out there that we just haven't really seen anything or seen any people pull the trigger on. So it's gonna be really interesting to kind of see where that goes. But I do think that there's going to be some pretty good signings here soon, hopefully, because when you have $17 million, you can spend that however you'd like. I would like to see second base addressed, possible catcher addressed, back end rotation help. I would like to see all of that addressed. And if we could get two guys with $17 million, I'd be happy with that. And so I guess we'll kind of see where that goes. We'll see where USADA's hearing kind of ends up in February. But you guys, please let me know what you guys think about the arbitration and kind of the cap space that we have available, as well as kind of the TV market deals kind of getting real interesting to me. So please let me know what you guys think about that. And you guys have a great weekend.